What is up? This is Zombie Talk 123 here. An absolute shocking signing has gone down today between Scott Boras's agent, Prince Fielder. He has found a home. But for what team? The Detroit Tigers, an absolute shock there. I mean, the Tigers, if you look at them payroll-wise, I didn't know they had it in them. I did not know they'd be able to reach into their pockets a little deeper and be able to afford a guy like Prince Fielder. This is a premier player, an elite player, a franchise player. Scott Boras has been walking around here with his 300-page binder trying to convince interested teams that he is someone worth that 10-year deal. If you're going to make that investment, he is the guy. He is the face of the franchise. He obviously convinced the Tigers. But for the Tigers, he's not really their face of the franchise. He is the 1-2 punch, the 3-4 punch in the order that beats everything. They now have Miguel Carberea and Prince Fielder for the long run. Now, when, Miguel Carberea does start to, have the possibility of hitting free agency, I don't know if they're going to be able to sign him now that they're putting so much money into a guy like Prince Fielder, or they're going to be so committed and excited about having Fielder. They're going to make sure that Fielder and Miguel Carberea both finish their careers, or at least sign very long contracts and play together for a long time. I mean, this is the best 3-4 punch in the order that you could possibly get. It would be great if the Tigers still had Victor Martinez. Do I think they would have gone after Prince Fielder if they still had Victor Martinez? They might have took a look at him, yes. I mean, it's a possibility because you can't beat the 3-4-5 of Miguel Carberea, Prince Fielder, and Victor Martinez. But I think they might have spent the money on pitching. They were going after Matt Garza for a while. They didn't want to give up both Turner and Castellanos, I believe. I don't think that's how you say his name. But, I mean, the Tigers, they have a top third baseman prospect, and Jacob Turner is major league ready. I mean, he's a top prospect. And, so he could definitely help him out this year in 2013 for sure. So they didn't want to give up both of those prospects for a guy like Matt Garza, obviously. And getting Prince Fielder, you don't need a guy like Matt Garza, or you don't need to give up those prospects for a guy like Matt Garza. You look at the rotation, Max Scherzer, Justin Verlander, Rick Porcello, Doug Fisher, who had a fantastic half season last year, will hope to, continue that success. So, I mean, their rotation, if you throw Turner in there, is absolutely set and it's very good. Now, I don't think Verlander's maybe going to have as good a year as he did last year, but it's still, he'll probably get to 20 wins, and that is an ace. He was the best pitcher by far last year, won MVP and Cy Young, and a pitcher hasn't done that in a long time. So this Tigers team is definitely a favorite going into 2012. Now, they've always been the favorite to win the Central. I mean, they won by 10 or 15 games last year. The Royals are getting better. They're young. They're getting better. I think there are definitely an option for, that second wild card team. They could definitely win that second wild card spot maybe in 2013 or 2014, but I don't think they're there yet. I think they will be there in 2014, not in 2012. They're still pretty far away from beating teams like the Tigers, obviously. Again, they have a lot of young, good players, but when you see a Tigers team consist of Prince Fielder, Miguel Cabrera, if they had Victor Martinez, obviously Alex Avila is getting better, and guys like that, and then you look at the pitching staff and the relief pitching, they signed Dotel to add to that really heavily weighed upon right-handed relief staff of, Valverde and now Dotel and a few others. So really, they have a great relief pitching. They have good starting, and they have a great offense. They had a very solid offense last year. It's going to make everyone better getting a guy like Prince Fielder. Now, the question was, could he get that 9 or 10-year deal? And I could see him getting a 1-year deal and letting the Dodgers just go crazy on spending next year when they'll have so much money to spend. They'll have a buyer. 10 or something teams bid on the Dodgers today, including Disney. I mean, one of those companies or one of those people could turn that team around very quick, and it has to do with money. It all has to do with money, and the Dodgers will have tons of money to spend next year. So Prince Fielder could be like, okay, maybe I sign a 1-year deal worth $28 million or something crazy. Make someone really pay for a 1-year deal, and then after this 1-year deal, try to get signed by a team like the Dodgers. Make them give up the cash, and I think that could happen. It was definitely a possibility, but Scott Boras and Prince Fielder wanted that 9-year deal. They didn't want to have to overlook a 1-year deal. I think that might affect Prince Fielder how he plays, thinking that he'll be a free agent again, but it obviously didn't affect him how he played this year. Look at his numbers. He was the All-Star MVP. He's got to be runner-up or something to the MVP regular because he had 38 home runs, 120 RBIs, 299 average. I mean, if you're looking for a slugger, a franchise hitter to make everyone better, to scare the pitching staff that will be facing you, you get Prince Fielder. He is the face of any franchise. But for the Tigers, him and Miguel Cabrera and Justin Verlander are the faces of their franchise. To have a 3-4 team of Miguel Cabrera and Prince Fielder is absolutely huge. And again, I didn't know the Tigers had it in their pockets to pull out there. But their owner, they wanted to win. He wanted to win a title in their lifetime. And again, they've been the favorite to win the Central, but you lose Victor Martinez. You knew they'd sign someone, I think in a guy like Johnny Damon, they would probably definitely still win the Central. I don't see a team better than them unless the White Sox pulled something magical or something. But to get him is absolutely unbelievable, and it makes them probably my pick to win the World Series. Now, not just this. If Victor Martinez would not have gotten hurt, they'd be my pick too, because I really do feel this is a team to beat. You look at how far they got, they beat the Yankees. That Rangers team was, just really tough, and I don't think, they might be just as good as last year, but I think other teams in the AL are definitely getting better. And I think the Tigers are obviously the pick for the AL Central, but could be the pick for the World Series, or at least getting to the World Series. I mean, when you have a team like that talented, it's really hard to beat them. But if they don't win it all in 2012, look for them in 2013 when you have Victor Martinez, Miguel Cabrera, and Prince Fielder. Let's just take a step back real quick. And remember, just a few months ago, he was fighting with the Brewers, not against them, but with the Brewers, to get to the World Series, and now he will be playing against them maybe in the playoffs next year, maybe in the World Series. We never know. The Brewers obviously are not going to be as good a team as last year, I don't think. They might lose. They probably will lose Braun for 50 games. They don't have Fielder now. I mean, that's their 3-4 punch. They might be without for 50 games, and they'll have half of it back for the rest of the season. And this is last year for Zach Greinke and Sean Markham, so they better make the best of it. And when K-Rod accepted arbitration and then worked out the contract and they signed Ross Ramirez and Alex Gonzalez, you knew that they weren't going to be able to sign Fielder. So I just want to say, I know how you feel, Brewers fans. I'm a huge Cardinal fan. Seeing Albert go, it sucks. But you know what? This might work out better for the Brewers financially and for the future. Again, this is still a risky move. I mean, it's a long-term deal for a guy who's going to be, when the deal ends, he'll be like 36 or something. So it could be risky, but a good deal. Now remember, Fielder has lived in Detroit. His father played there for like 5 or 6 years, and you know the story. You've got to know the story. When he was like 12, he hit a ball like 400 feet in a Major League ballpark, hit a home run, and it was just like, wow. I mean, that was in Detroit. The owners there have known about Prince Fielder since he was a little kid, and now they're able to sign him to be pretty much a long-term Tiger. It's absolutely huge. Prince Fielder's put up just crazy numbers. These last few years, he's been durable. He's averaged, 40 home runs in the past 5 years. He's someone that you need on your team. Every team would love to have a guy like Prince Fielder. The question is, how much money was he able to get? The market for him was absolutely dead. It seemed like it was dying. Obviously, a team would love to get him, but for what price? And Scott Boras just kept pushing for that deal, and he finally got it. And he's got to be relieved. He got a huge deal on this 9-year, $214 million deal. This is like averaging something around $24 million per year for 9 years. I mean, come on. 9 years. Again, the Tigers are definitely a favorite going into 2012. Now, could they win the World Series? They haven't won it in like 20-something years, since like 1984. And, I mean, this is absolutely a huge deal. So, someone to watch is Joey Votto, though. He will become a free agent in 2013, and what this deal does for him is it not only creates a huge market for him, it creates excitement. It creates a team like the Dodgers who could go all in on Joey Votto. So, if the Reds don't extend him, of course, then I think the Dodgers will probably sign Joey Votto to some extreme amount because they were not able to sign Prince Fielder. But a huge deal for Fielder, a huge deal for the Tigers, makes them obviously the favorite. Congratulations to Prince Fielder on getting that deal that you've been wanting to get. It's huge. I personally didn't know the Tigers had it in them, didn't have the payroll to go out and make that deal. I thought, if anything, they'd spend money on pitching. They've had a relatively quiet offseason, just getting a guy like Dotel, and then this happens. This is absolutely huge, makes them the favorite. Thanks. Alright, I don't think I'm missing anything. Maybe I've skipped over something talking about Prince Fielder, but again, I was absolutely shocked. So, I'm making this video in somewhat of a shock stage of mine because I really didn't expect the Tigers to sign to a 9-year deal. But again, thanks for watching. If you think differently on this deal, let me know. It is a lot of money, and it could be risky when he gets late in his career. But overall, I think it's a very good deal. MB Talk 123 is also on Twitter. Check me out there. Thanks for watching again.